don't feel locked up, so to speak. So.
Okay, well, we're just going to dive right into this because this is a good segue, Dom. We're going to hang on you for 1 second because I was just having a conversation with somebody about how people can come into Isagenix and they can say, all right, I'm going to give you a year. All right, I'm going to give you, a couple weeks, a couple months. I'm committed. I'm going to show up. And I know, Dom, you've already experienced it. I've experienced it. And so many other people have experienced it so many times where people say that and then they disappear. Now, we talk about there's something that happens in that 12-month mark. And I love that 2 days from now, you are going to be at your 1 year Isaversary. And so I want to unpack this just a little bit. Talk to us a little bit about what this past year has been like for you and like really all that's taken place. I know that's a packed question, but just as things come up, all that's taken place over the past 12 months since you've said yes and continued to say yes, all the way up until now.
Yeah, that is so good. I think what you said at the very end was continuing to say yes. I think that's so big. We'll kind of start sort of in the beginning. If some of you don't know my story, I was, collegiate and for a short time professional baseball player and thought I was at my physical peak and, just wanted more. I just was upset the way I was feeling. And I ran into James at the gym. And, a couple of days later I got going and I remember the day. I actually have my notebook from when he showed me the compensation plan and the notes that I wrote, and I remember the attitude that I felt. But I think a huge key for me for this kickstart of what I did for my first year was I got to Celebration. I got to Celebration, and by any means possible, and huge shout out to Lane and Chelsea Taylor. They bought my ticket to get to Celebration. And I scraped together money to get to a Red Roof Inn on the outskirts of Nashville. Had to wake up at 5 o'clock to get there on time. But I just knew I wanted this energy. I knew I wanted something different just from, I wanted this team feel because I was getting on calls beforehand. But I think that's another key actually is getting on these regular calls. And it's not that each time we get on these calls, we need to get remotivated. We need to get refocused. It's just a fine tuning of our belief. I think every time I jump on here, you see 18 to 20 to sometimes we have 30 to 40 to 50 people on these calls. It's just a fine tuned belief of like-minded people to get going. And then I would say another one that I've had that has been so apparent in the past 3-4 months has been, you're what you're doing now, you're going to harvest in 60 to 90 days. That is on the physical side, that is on the mental side, spiritual, on the business side of this as well. I think we can get caught up a lot of times in our current conditions and circumstances. And at best, your current conditions and circumstances at best are a reflection of your thoughts and actions from 60 days ago. So how can you assign meaning to what your future is going to be about, what it's going to be based on what's happening right now to you? Why don't you go make that happen? So I think understanding that there's a harvest coming based on what you're doing now. Like I said, getting to events, celebrations has been so big, and then just leaning on my people. Allie, Joy, Micah, James, Audrey, Lane, Chelsea, I bombard them all the time. And
when Dom did something, my phone just text.
Because what I've tried to do is I've tried to put myself in kind of their shoes, as in if my people needed something. I think we can get trapped in the lie, like, I don't want to bother this person, I don't want to bother these people, I don't, but we're a family. And so if I was putting myself in their shoes of if one of my people needed something, or one of my downline needed something, like, of course, like, please send me a message. Why would you ever bother me? And I remember sending a message to Lane in the fall. I said, sorry to blow up your phone. Like, and he cut me off and he was like, don't ever apologize about that. Don't ever apologize about that. And it was so funny because a couple weeks ago, I did the exact same thing. Someone sent me 15 screenshot conversations. 15. And they're like, I'm so sorry I've blown up your phone. I said, do not ever apologize about doing that. I was like, this is the way to go. And tonight she just hit consultant. So it was just awesome. So it's a great full circle thing. But I know I beat around the bush anywhere, and I didn't know I was going to talk at all. But Applejack started the conversation. but those are kind of the things right off the top of my head that I would say is those events, showing up to these calls, retuning your focus and your belief. And then, leaning on your people and just understanding that what you're doing now, you're going to harvest in 60 to 90 days.
I love that. Dom, thank you for opening up the call, man, and just sharing that. For those of you who hopped on a little bit after I asked the question, Dom is, he's crossing the threshold of his 1 year Isaversary this coming up week, where he got his first brown box. And I just asked him, what this past year has been like, and some things that have helped him stay in the game. And so, Dom, I love that the first thing you nailed was getting to an event. Now, obviously, we're not going to an event right now, but it's even greater, I believe, because we can get so many more people locked in and their eyes on celebration. Tell me in the chat, who has been inviting people to celebration this coming week? Who's been inviting people to take a look at celebration and what Isagenix 2.0 is going to be about? You guys, I am telling you what. I have been on the phone with Jim and Kathy, with Eric, with the corporate team this past week. I have had so much trouble sleeping. I have had 0 BIAs, okay? It's not because of how great the adaptogens are in the BIAs. It's because of how excited I am, because right now there's this synergy taking place. There's this succinctness that's taking place where so many people that, all of you on the line especially, but, people who are even not on this line, who have put their hand to this, who have worked day in and day out and found, pockets of time. And you're looking at your business right now, and maybe you're saying, okay, what are the 1 or 2 things I really need to move or change or enhance to really elevate my business and allow it to go to the next level? What are the, I know I can do a couple of things. I know how to connect. I know how to send a message. How do I really do these things and go to the next level? And what Isagenix is prepared for, and I mentioned it on the call last week, but what Isagenix has been, head down. They say at corporate, they're just a bunch of ducks in the water, meaning, on the surface, the duck looks so calm, and underneath the surface, just paddling so fast. But on the surface, all the calls they get on, they're like, all right, guys, we're super excited. Sharon's been staying up late. Mac's been staying up late. Travis Ogden's been staying up. I mean, everybody is like full on. All for us. All that halfway through 2020, a year that has been so unprecedented, so unpredictable in so many ways. We have what I love the word that Dom used, a family, a community of people that on their end, they have been putting millions of more dollars aside to our benefit. They've been putting so many more resources aside so that come this launch, this next coming week, all of us can see that influx and that growth that we have been working, praying, and just striving for. And so I want to dive into a couple of things. First off, who has seen the announcement about the whole blend shake? Has anybody taken a look at that? Okay, so you guys, I'm posting the link right here. Let me know, can somebody click on that link and let me know if it works? Give me a thumbs up in the chat or thumbs down. If not, I'll post it on Freedom Living Team Business. Thumbs up. Okay, so guys, this is the toolkit for the new whole blend shake. Now remember, we reinvented and we did something that nobody had ever done when we brought the energy drink via to the market, right? Now that is a standalone product when it comes to the industry, and we have done that again when it comes to this whole blend shake. This isn't just an enhancement to our isoline shake and our plant-based shake. It is something that nobody has done in the nutrition world at all. And so I want you guys to take some time, because Isagenix has spent a lot of time. There's a 3.5-minute video that Dr. Plant does on there. To this day, nobody can explain the nutrition, in my opinion, and how things work more eloquently than Dr. Plant. And so if you're like, hey, what does this do? Why is this important? Go watch that 3.5-minute video, and you guys, absolutely unbelievable, because look at this. This is how I'm viewing this. In a time and space in the world when the immune system is being talked about so much, when health has never, ever been at more of a spotlight that I've ever seen, at least in my lifetime, where everybody's so conscious about washing their hands. Everybody's so conscious about, what they're touching on their face or whatnot. People are so conscious about their health right now. And here, Isagenix is taking health, nutrition, and we're pushing the boundaries even further. We're advancing it even further so people can get whole food nutrition. Because comment in the chat, or show of hands, here's the objection. Oh, I like to eat whole food. I want to eat my whole food. I know that nutrients come from whole foods, right? We hear that all of the time, and Isagenix knows that. And we're not set out to replace all of the whole food. But what we are wanting to do is bring in the vital nutrients that we get from whole foods that in many cases have been stripped because we've completely depleted our soil and our agriculture sourcing. So this whole blend shake, you guys, is phenomenal. And the flavor of it, it's chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. But Don was talking about flavors. Isagenix has nailed it again. I don't know how they continue to do this. 6, almost 7 years in, I still try products for the first time. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be all right. I've been having these products for, I don't know, whatever, 2,000 days. And I tried this whole blend shake and I got chills. I was just like, oh my goodness. I cannot wait for the world who is seeking health and seeking nutrition to get their hands on this. So do your due diligence, because people are gonna ask you and say, okay, well, why is this different? What makes this different? So Isagenix has gone ahead and done all the work. They said, okay, they have a link that says what to say, what to share, what we can and can't say. That's important. So take a look at that link. And like I mentioned just a second ago, that's also coming to the plant-based line as well. So the whole blend, those nutrients, those minerals are coming. And again, there's no other shake on the market like this that will have this component scientifically, bathed and studied like these new isolate shakes are gonna have. So a major enhancement there. If you guys didn't see, the Crystal Consultant Bonus has just been extended through January 17th, 2021. What does that mean if you're new on the line? It means that when you help your new person, like Dom just said, he created a consultant, he helped somebody become a consultant. When you help them become a consultant in their first 30 days, they're gonna earn $100 versus the $50 bonus. That $100 bonus, and they've extended that through January 17th. So when you're looking at, coming through this week and getting out of the gates, definitely be speaking to the people about that Crystal Consultant Bonus, because up until this year, we've never had that. We've never had that incentive to be able to talk about. Crystal Executive deadline is tonight. We got anybody? Do we have anybody that's going for? We got Dom. Oh, we got Dom. Oh, comment in the chats if you think Dom's gonna hit Crystal Executive tonight. Anybody have faith that Dom's gonna hit Crystal Executive tonight? I believe it. And Allie is on her way as well. Oh, buddy. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and proclaim that you're gonna get that, and we're gonna celebrate that tonight for you. So that's going on tonight, you guys. Here's something I'm really excited about. Kathy Coover is coming out with a book next week. She's you guys know, has spent decades of time in this industry, both in the field perspective. She built three different 7-figure businesses, okay? All of which, after she had built them, they changed the compensation plan and basically slashed her pay in half, okay? So this is a woman who understands what building, like just pounding the pavement so hard, only, not just that, but then get your legs chopped out from under you. She came out with a book. It's called Resilient, Lessons Learned, Lives Changed. And that's coming out on the 17th. And what I love about this, you guys, is she's going to share her story. I have yet to get a copy, but she's going to share her story, and then she's going to share about how she built this as an associate. There are people that have come out with these network marketing books that really honestly haven't built a full-on network marketing business, let alone a massive organization, let alone 3 massive organizations, and is now running a company herself. And so I just think there's going to be so much value. One of the things that Dom was alluding to, is staying plugged in. We talk about that all of the time. staying plugged in amidst this time where there are distractions left and right. You guys, as you can see, I'm in a new place. Odd and I spent our very first night in our new home this past week. It has been absolute whirlwind. I feel like my head's been in the sand trying to get my family moved before this little baby comes in a couple of months and launching 2.0, all of it. But in the midst of that, staying plugged in and consuming positive things that are keeping you in line with where you're saying you want to go. So incredibly important. So if you're looking for a resource, if you're looking for a gift, maybe if somebody going crystal, consultant or crystal manager, what an amazing book that would be to give a new business builder that says, hey, I think I want to do this. I think I want to build it. I don't know how. Do you have any resources for me? You could give them a book that says, hey, this is our founder who's actually been in the field for like 30, 40 years and knows how to do this. And then they could receive so much from Kathy herself in this book. So I'm really excited about that. The last link I'm going to post here, which I'm really excited about, is the breakout sessions. Has anybody taken a look at the breakout sessions for Celebration? So Isagenix, this is really, really cool. So here is a breakout session map where you get to decide and you get to self-select on which breakout session is going to be best for you. They have yes or no questions, and the little toggle goes all the way down to figure out what you need to be in, and that's going to be a really amazing resource. You guys, this Friday, starting off, we're coordinating right now because I know we have several watch parties going around virtually, but I would love if we could all somehow be in live at Freedom Living Team Business commenting together where that energy could be felt all around the country, all around, for Rhymes and G and our team out in the UK, just all over the place. So I'm so excited about that. And you guys, really this week, I would just encourage you to invite. Listen, I know, and I'm gonna post a script that I've actually been sending to customers, past customers, people who are inactive, people who maybe had said they wanted to take a look at Isagenix and they just ghosted me and they stopped. I'm sending them this message, letting them know that there's a new opportunity coming and there's a huge up-leveling that's taking place. And I can post that in Freedom Living Team Business where you guys can share that as well. So, because who would agree, right? Jessica Ridner says, people's lives are changing every single 30 days, right? Especially now, I would say especially now, people are probably changing every 15 days. People's circumstances, people's financial thermometer, people's relationships, people's needs, people's wants. And so if we write people off, and I can do this as well. If I say, I talked to that person in March and they said no, well, guess how much life has happened since March? And I want you to think about right now where you're at. People maybe who you've checked off in your brain saying, no, I talked to them in February and they said they just really weren't into this. Pause for a moment and think about how much life has taken place since February. We owe it to them at least to just circle back around and say, hey, I know you took a look at Isagenix, back in February. So much life has changed. And Isagenix is doing a huge up-leveling this coming week. I would love for you at least to just take a look at it. If you want to, there's going to be a live virtual celebration, a virtual event, so you can actually get a clue in on what's taking place and see if maybe this would be a better time for you to pursue this and help bring a secondary income source to your household. That's my conversation this week, you guys. That's my conversation this week. And when we can all row in the same direction, saying, okay, this is what's coming. This is what's coming. This is what we're doing. That's where that incredible energy is going to be felt. And I'll say one last thing to this. I got on a call with a gentleman named Nate Summers, who is the head of, he's not the head of marketing. I think he's the head of communications or something like that in corporate. I got on a phone call with him and this gentleman by the name of David Spacey. David is the founder and CEO of the Penny app. You guys know the Penny app? We talked about that. So what I didn't know is that when we had talked about the Penny app and I had you guys download it, that was just the beta version. That wasn't even the full-on version. You guys, he went through a 30-minute breakdown of what this Penny app is going to be able to do, both on your computer and on your phone. And let me just say, show of hands, who would love to be able to effectively build their business in 1 hour's time a day? Who would love that? To say, okay, I can knock everything off of my list in 1 hour. I only need one. And I have an assistant, I have a virtual assistant who can tell me who it is I need to follow up with, when my auto ship's going out, who would also love to know what your previous customers have ordered, where you can search. Did they get the pre-workout? Okay, guys, that is what's coming. You're gonna be able to see all in your organization and say, okay, Dom ordered 3 boxes of chocolate decadence bars last month. I wanna make sure that he knows there's a new bar dropping this week at Celebration, because he's obviously a bar guy and I want him to know the benefits of that. If there's gonna be a shake drop, you can go back and search and see who is, has ordered in the past 30 days, 60 days. You can see exactly what products. You can do a search through your whole, personally enrolled. It's gonna be phenomenal what is going to be able to take place when it comes to efficiency. Not just work, not just busyness, because none of us right now are looking for that. We're looking for efficiency and simplicity, right? And we're also wanting to be able to bring somebody in and confidently say, you can do this too. Let me show you how, right? That's what we're all wanting to be able to say. Ellen, you're brand new at this, you're a consultant. I can show you how to go manage. I can show you how to build this big. And Penny is going to be an amazing, amazing tool that I just want to encourage all of us that when that does launch on Friday, that we just grow accustomed to it. But it's going to be the real version is coming on Friday. This has just been a beta version. So if you've been familiar with it, you're way ahead of the game. You're way ahead of the game. But just know that there's going to be even more dexterity and more reports and more things you're going to be able to see so that you can grow. You can grow your organization and you can see what's happening. 2.0 streamline it, baby. That's what's taking place. We're going to use the second half of 2020 to make this the greatest year any of us have ever seen. Because there were several people I know that, including myself, that when this year started, this was going to be the best year, the new best start of the decade, right? We're starting a new decade and people were so hyped, and then it just we all kind of got hit in the gut, right? The world just kind of got hit in the gut and people lost their flame. I know a lot of people, they lost their routine. They lost their ritual of, getting up, working out, reading, podcasts, connecting. And people I feel like they've been swerving just a little bit. And I feel like now they're settling the ship down. And this second half of the year, I believe, is going to make up for double and quadruple what we all, I believe, anticipated in many ways, just when it comes to consistency in the world goes for this year. And so I hope you are all as excited as I am for Celebration this week. I am going to be glued in. I'm going to have all products right here and I'm going to be locked in, because while it is at home, like we say, if it's easy to do, it's easier not to do, right? The beautiful part about Dom, and he's saying, I had to go to Celebration. I had to go to, I had to get a Red Roof in. I had to wake up at 5:30 and get in that room because he's dedicated. That did so much for his mindset, and that did so much for his cells to say, no, I'm in this, I'm activated, I'm engaged, and I'm making the monetary and energetic sacrifice to do this. With this weekend, you're gonna have a tendency, you're going to want to, be on the phone and connect and kind of be half in, half out the whole time. Let me just, as we say at every in-person event, be all there. Engage fully. And if you're having people over at your place, if you're having, or you're doing a watch party, make sure the environment there is focused and engaged. Because I want to act like Jim and Kathy are sitting right next to me in the front row, saying, you know what? Every single one of you are ambassadors for this company. You are ambassadors of Isagenix. You are representing what Jim and Kathy have spent the past 20 years of their life, solely dedicated to. And so when I'm there, I want to, I'm sitting in the comfort of my own home, which is great. We get to utilize technology. But if you're there, help each other, hold each other to a higher standard. And if you're going to take a bathroom break, take one quick. Go quick. Come back, sit down. And it's not going to be super long. These are going to be short sessions. They're going to be powerful. And like we always say, you only get out of it what you put into it. And so I am so fired up. Like Ellen just said, when the lid is all the way off, the vessel can be completely filled. Absolutely. Absolutely. Set the environment and the tone for whatever it is that you're going to be watching and say, hey, this time is going to be blocked off for Celebration. I want to get all of that, all that I can from this so that leaving this weekend, we can exit this week and going, into the latter part of July with so much momentum, so much, synergy. And like Otto and I have talked about, we're going to be doing these virtual overviews where we can be pouring people on these calls. And what I would love to see is everybody taking a week or a call to do just a 20-minute overview where, Ella, you share your story. And you're like, listen, this is where I was before Isagenix. This is what I was looking for. This is how Isagenix came in and served my life. And now this is what I get to do. How powerful would it be if every single week we had 1, 2, 3 calls going off with the Leslie Fords, with the Christy Andersons, with the Kathy Waldrops, with the Marbells, with the Jonies. You always knew you had somebody to plug into that you knew, and you knew their story. And you said, listen, you've got to hear Alicia Wright's story. You have got to hear Christy's story. That's what we can do, utilizing this whole structural shift where I don't know what in-person events are going to look like, but we can all be sitting here in person together, feeling this energy, building that belief, sharpening our tools, because we will not be those that shrink back. We will not be those that shrink back. We are going to advance. We're going to move forward. We're going to take this opportunity and really something that's been a heartache for a lot of people, even on this call. And we're going to use it as a time to stretch and grow and bring even more people who are searching for you on this line of what you have. You guys, we can take, I say this all the time, and then I'm going to wrap it up. We can take Isagenix for granted. We can take the beauty of this community for granted. We can take the amazing feeling of Ionic Supreme for granted. Not very often, because it's really amazing. But we can take this stuff for granted, right? How fortunate we all are to be on this line right now in a time and age where our industry is only increasing in value. It's only increasing in leverage. Your sphere is only increasing in impact right this very moment. And I don't want to be one that misses or lets the ship pass by without me saying, you know what, I'm going to bed and saying, I gave it my all. I gave it my all. I really did. I'm not going to blame anybody else. I can look at myself and say, I gave it my all. And if I didn't, then I have to answer to myself. I can't blame Isagenix. I can't blame the Coovers. I can't blame the compensation plan. I can't blame the marketing or anything like that. I just have to say, okay, I didn't show up as much as I wanted to. And so heading into 2.0, I'm taking radical responsibility for where, Odd and I are at, where my habits are, where my rituals are. And I'm not going to let those past stories maybe that have crept in this year, the past couple of months of, oh, it's so hard because things have changed, or, I don't know, the schedule's different, or I'm moving, or, we all can have excuses. We could all have a laundry list of excuses, right? Or we could use those as fire and fuel to say, no, this is why I must succeed at this. This is why I must succeed. This is why I must press forward. So I love you guys. This is going to be a huge week. I hope you utilize this time to invite people. Say, listen, I know put yourself out there. Say, I know you've taken a look at this before. I would love for you just to take a look at what's going on Friday night. We're reinventing ourselves. We're going to a new level. We're pressing on and, changing the game in many ways. And I would love for you to just get a sense of what we're stepping into to see if this could be a better time for you. Invite people. You are so going to want to have, you're so going to wish you had more people on this Friday, even if you have 100. You're going to wish you had 200. And so take the time starting now, get on people's schedule, and let's pack the lines out. And let's let this second half of the year be a year where it's unrecognizable. The second half of the year is unrecognizable when it comes to how much growth happens in your own organization, in your own life, in your own habits, in your own, mindset. At the end of the year, people go, wow, you, Jennifer Higgins, utilized this year and you grew so much. You're a different person. You sound different. You carry yourself different. You interact with me different. What happened to you in 2020? And you can say, you know what? The first half was pretty rough. It was hard. I felt like I got kicked in the teeth, and I really was confused about a lot. I was questioning a lot about where I was at in my life. But come July, I made a decision, and I drew a line in the sand, and I said, no, I'm going to take this year back, and I'm going to make it stand for what I believe in and what I want this year to finish like. And so I did, and I grew myself, and it was hard. It was challenging. I overcame so much, and I am so dang proud of myself for giving it everything I had. That's what I believe this year to be for everyone on this call right now and everyone that's watching this recording. Freedom Living Team is going to more levels of freedom this year, I believe, than ever before. Odd and I are here to help. We're in the trenches with you. We're reevaluating our own lives and habits, and I cannot wait to be all on this call are all virtually in celebration this coming Friday. So if you have any questions, I'm going to post these scripts right after this. 2.0 is coming in hot. Let's lock it in, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Love you guys. Have a good night.